This video is brought to you by Sporlan, quality, integrity, and tradition. Well, today we got a service call on a walk-in cooler that's not working. You can see from the temperature controller, it's got a high temp alarm and it says 55 degrees. So this is a remote system, temperature controller, thermostat and solenoid valve inside the coil, and a condensing unit outside. So from the looks of it right now, all the fan motors are working. I'm gonna go up top or go outside and see what's going on out there. We got a walk-in freezer condenser here, which I'm intrigued why that's not running. Got a walk-in cooler condenser right here. So I'm gonna get all this pulled off and definitely need some insulation. That's something we can address, but right now we just need to get this thing running. So I'm gonna get everything all pulled off right now. I went ahead and put service gauges on it real quick. We've got refrigerant pressures on both sides. That more than likely indicates that the liquid line solenoid valve is open on the low side, potentially. Condenser fan motor's free spin. Okay. Compressor is not, it's just warm, like, because it's hot outside, right? So we're gonna start by checking voltage here. So power coming in is on the top. We should have 3-phase, 208 volts. We've got nothing. 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 We have no voltage. Let's check the bottom for giggles. We have no voltage coming to this unit. Got a disconnect switch right here. Let's go right here. See what's going on in here. Fuses are in there. Let's go ahead and check this guy. So no voltage, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 1 to 3. No voltage at all coming to this unit. So that's not good. Okay, we're gonna shut it off. And we're going to check each fuse to ground really quick to see if we have anything grounded out that would potentially trip a breaker. Got the meter set to continuity. Okay, so we're going to check. We've got continuity to ground from here to here. So we've got disconnect off. We go each winding to ground, or each fuse to ground essentially, right? Nothing, nothing. Okay, so we're good there. Now let's go on the load side of the contactor, see if we have any direct shorts to ground. And then we'll go inside and see if we got a tripped breaker or something. Okay, I hooked onto ground here. We've got continuity to ground. Going to the contactor. Bottom side, nothing, nothing. Okay, so we're gonna leave the disconnect off. We're gonna head inside and see if we can find a breaker somewhere, maybe. I'm curious. I'm gonna check that walk-in freezer one too, because when I went in there to check in the box, they were in the walk-in freezer. Like, this should have been running too. That's really interesting. Walk-in freezer doesn't have any power either. Something's going on here. These should be independent breakers controlled by a singular panel. So something's wrong. All right, I'm heading in. Go to the electrical panel. Come into the electrical room and look at everything is off in this panel. Now, granted, these two aren't being used right here. So these are not in use, but every one of these has been turned off. So someone turned them off. Regardless, we have the disconnect switches off. We don't know why they were turned off. We're gonna turn them all on. One. Always stay to the side when you're doing this too. And I have no idea what these control. And hopefully nothing bad happens. Okay. So now we should have power. See, these two stay off because these make-up units don't work. Yeah, I'm just wondering if someone got confused. Sometimes they'll come in here and shut these breakers off when they do delivery or something like that, like a big order. So it makes me wonder if that's what happened. Like, they did an order and someone got confused and thought that they should all be the same direction as these ones. That's my logic. I don't know though. So let's go outside and see if this fixes the problem. You never know what caused what, why something potentially would have been shut off. So we're going to be cautious when we turn this on. This is their freezer. Seems like it's okay. This is their cooler. 1, 2, 3, please don't blow up. Both condenser fan motors are fan cycling. So now they turned on. And I guess we're going to watch all this equipment come down to temp now. Okay, this is running. It is 404A. I don't see anything crazy with the refrigerant pressures, the saturation temp, everything seems fine. We've got a clear sight glass. Well, it's slightly got some bubbles, but it also just turned on, so it takes a few minutes, so we'll watch that. This guy's a little misleading. But even still, you don't want the sight glass to clear right away because it's under a heavy load. So if you look, it's like clearing and then there's a bubble and then it's clearing, like it's clear right now. I can see light through the condenser. It's nice and clean. I do hear it chirping. Maybe not. I thought I heard a chirping from one of those motors, but no, they seem fine. But interestingly enough, this turned on. This isn't what they asked me to look at, but this turned on and then it turned off. I'm assuming it's waiting for the evaporator coil to turn it on. So we're gonna go in and look at that since we're here, and we're waiting for this to come down to temp. So the cooler's on, running and coming down to temp, but the freezer, it's really odd. Like their ice cream is still, like it's not hard, but it's firm. And these ice cubes right here are not thawed. So if this has been shut off for an extreme amount of time, you think we'd have a problem there, but these evaporator fan motors aren't running. So I'm grabbing a ladder. We're gonna open this up and have a look inside here, see what's going on. We've got a green light, but it's flashing. So what is going on here? This should be running. And I do see some ice in there too, just around the fans. But yeah, there's ice, it's frost on the back of the coil. There's frost on the ceiling. So I don't know how long this has been off. This is weird. Look at this. Ice all back behind their panel. Their walk-ins or walls are separating. That's not good. Yeah, this is really bizarre. Really, really bizarre. When I get up into here, I'm going through the monitor and it says product load timer. Go ahead and turn that timer back on. Someone turned the twist timer on the door. So it's just a coincidence that this isn't working. When we turn that twist timer, it looks like there's moisture back there though too. Look at that, we got moisture inside this. So we're gonna turn the twist timer on and then potentially this guy should start up. And that makes sense, but I still don't understand why the breaker was turned off today. I wonder if they left it off and then went in this morning and turned them all to that position maybe. There we go. So now it's gonna turn back on, it's just got a delay. All right, yeah, so it's turning back on. I'm gonna get this cover off inspected in here. I think we're gonna get a new intelligent display because I do see moisture inside of it and that's not good. That's gonna be a problem. So we're gonna take care of that. We'll order one of these and come back. I'm gonna have them create an actual individual work order for this one so that way we can get that replaced. But this thing, I'm gonna watch it come down to temp, but I have a feeling, I don't understand why the breakers were off, but the breakers were off. That was the problem. So I don't see any problems in here other than there's moisture inside this guy. So, okay. Well, we're gonna pick up a new one of these. I have one actually at the shop. And then we're just gonna watch everything come down to temp, but I'm not gonna stay here the whole time. The odds are it's just the breaker issue. So we'll have them create a work order for this one. We'll come back, but we're gonna wrap this one up for the walk-in cooler. As long as I see it come down a little bit more, we'll step outside and look at the condenser again. So far, the cooler's looking good. Sight glass is kind of bubbles and then no bubbles, so I'm not too worried about that. We're just watching it. But I see a little bit of white powder on this contactor. We're gonna pull this cover off and look inside. And it kind of looks like we might have some burning going on in there. But no, actually, it's kind of hard for you guys to see, but it's not too bad. No, I don't really see much. I thought so for a second. I'll get a big flashlight right now and look in there, but sometimes when you see that white powder, it can be an indication that there's something going on. But no, that looks pretty clean in there. Yeah, I don't think I need to change that. So we're gonna put the cover back on, put the screws back in, and put this thing back together. Now this thing was missing a crap ton of screws. I'll try to put them back in if I can. For now, we're just putting the insulation back on. We'll talk to them about that for when we potentially come back, if they approve me to do that touch pad for the freezer, and we'll take care of the insulation then. But for now, we're just slapping it back up, you know, putting it back on as best as possible. But yeah, we're getting this all screwed on. They've been using this to like store crap on top of, so it's all deformed and bent. So there's only so much I can do with this, but I'll do my best. You really never know what you're gonna run into with these restaurants. Sometimes it can be a nuisance call like this. Sometimes it can be a real problem, but I always try to approach everything as if it's a real problem. Don't ever assume, right? But there's no logical reason why the breakers would magically turn themselves off. So obviously someone shut them off. And the fact that the left side of that panel was all turned the same direction, what I really think happened was, I told you that 2 of the breakers were left off already because they're for the makeup air units that are not in use. That's a whole nother thing. We're going to be starting those up soon, but they were turned off. And I think that they went in there because the manager said, we checked the breakers. I'm 100% sure they're on. Well, I think they thought they were on when they were off, right? So who knows? This is what we run into. But I just try my best. I'm not rude. I'm not, whatever. I mean, even though I asked them on the phone, did you check the breakers? Yes. Okay, when I get there, they didn't. It's, I don't make a big deal of it. It is what it is. They realized it because they had to pay me a nice invoice amount, right, to fix this. So, like, there's no sense in me, like, berating them or anything. I mean, it is what it is. I really appreciate you making it to the end of the video. Thank you so very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel. If you're interested in supporting the channel, there's a couple different ways you can do so, but the easiest way really is just watch the videos from beginning to end. That really is the easiest way. You can also support it by PayPal, Patreon, or YouTube channel memberships, of which there's links in the show notes of this video. Those are all just different ways that you can choose to make a one-time or a monthly commitment, reoccurring commitment, whatever you want to do, right? But again, you don't have to, right? You can also go to my website, HVACRvideos.com, where we have merchandise available, such as these hats right here. We ship these hats from our own home. We purchase them. We have them made, obviously, have them embroidered. We bring them in, we inspect them. My wife, HVACR wife on Instagram, actually handles all the merch shipments. So she processes them, ships them out. So if you do want to help support a small family business, HVACRvideos.com. Last but not least, if you see any tools that I used in this video, such as the Fieldpiece SC480 meter, I picked that up from TrueTechTools.com. TrueTechTools.com is another small business. It's a great company. They got great customer support, and I actually set up an affiliate program with them. So if you use my offer code BIGPICTURE, that's big picture, no spaces, one word, okay, big picture. If you use my affiliate code BIGPICTURE at checkout, on majority of the items on their website, you'll get a nice little discount. I get a small commission when you use that. There's a few things that doesn't apply to, but check it out. Again, TrueTechTools.com. Thank you so very much. They're not always super technical videos. Sometimes I'm literally just turning a breaker on. This is what our job entails. So thanks so much, and I hope to catch you on the next one.